Welcome back to another
Hello.
episode of Pumped Up Tea. I'm Taylor.
I'm Sara.
Wow, we are now at the end of Vanderpump Rules for the foreseeable future.
It feels so weird. Alex keeps saying in interviews that it's not the end, but just the way that it ended last night and all, it really feels we're done.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But first, how are you? How you doing?
Oh, she mad, guys. She mad. I watched the extended version. I was really mad last night. And then I watched the extended version today. I had my anger had simmered, guys. My anger had simmered, okay? And then I watched the extended version, and I just got re-mad. So we're mad. That's how we're feeling.
Yeah, we are very mad.
Oh, I don't know which drink to reach for.
Yeah, right? We doubled up on our beverages.
For those not watching on YouTube, we have sangria and White Claw.
I actually haven't sipped my White Claw yet, so here, let's do a quick little...
Cheersies.
Cheersies.
It was Memorial Day. We had to drink on Memorial Day.
It was, in fact, Memorial Day on Monday. Mm-hmm. What did you do?
I brought my grandmother home because my mom was at the house this weekend.
Nice.
And I went grocery shopping. And then I played video games.
I worked.
Yeah, you were working.
This is my Memorial Day weekend.
Well, cheers. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day. We've got a lot of tea, I noticed, that was being spilled this week.
So much to talk about. There's so much to talk about. I did catch up on the Valley, though, you guys. I did it for you, okay? So feel my love through this microphone.
This Valley recap might not be all that eventful.
No, it's not, because it was boring as fuck.
This episode was not eventful at all.
No, it was boring as fuck. But I did catch up, so you guys better feel my love.
Next week is the finale, though, so...
Yes, I did see the preview for that.
We'll have that. And then we decided that we are going to recap Love Island!
Yay! I'm really excited. I've always wanted to watch Love Island, and this feels like the perfect excuse because I just get to see cute Ariana's face all the time.
I've only seen one season ever, years ago, and then I think I just got so overwhelmed with just how many different versions of Love Island there are.
Yes.
How many episodes they all come with.
Yes.
The fact that a lot of them, I believe, are live.
They're
I guess.
I think the UK one does it like Big Brother, where it's just consistently going all the time.
That's overwhelming.
That's why I know that's a lot. I need a lot of number of episodes to I need structure. Mm-hmm. Multiple days a week is too much.
Yeah, multiple days a week is a lot, but we're gonna do our best. We're gonna try to keep up for you guys. You know, we're gonna have this hiatus for Vanderpump for a while, where we're gonna obviously be on the off season for the Valley. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously the Valley is definitely going to be filming again this summer. We'll see what ends up happening.
Up any day now.
Yeah. So
they do 3 months.
Yes, they do. Oh yeah, you're right. They should be picking up any minute now.
Any day now. Mm-hmm.
That's wild,
right?
Especially because we're about to get a really insane finale that they only just filmed maybe a couple months ago. Yeah. When Brittany was moving out of the house or something like that, or she had already moved out of the house.
Didn't they pick cameras back up or something?
Yep, they picked cameras back up.
Apparently, the Beverly Hills Housewives just finished filming, and then they had to pick their cameras back up again. So the Bravoverse is on fire.
Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a lot. And then I've been watching Summer House. I finished season 1. So it's actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
I saw their Bravo has paused Martha's Vineyard. Summer
really?
Mm-hmm. I saw that today.
I didn't know that.
Sir Rules Instagram page.
Did they say why?
I didn't read the article. I just saw the post in her story.
Interesting.
I was looking to see what everybody was thinking about the episode because I like looking through her Instagram story because she gets a lot of really diverse opinions. Yeah. So I like going through her page after every episode. I'm like, what the fuck are the people saying?
Yeah, what's going on?
What are we thinking? We're all in agreement. We're pretty much all in agreement.
Usually.
And I love that for us. Yeah. I feel like this is the first season where everybody is very much aligned, you know? Usually after an episode or seasons, the last couple of years, it's we've all kind of been different. It's been a pretty good mix, but this season, everybody's just been fuck Sheena, fuck Lala, fuck Tom Sandoval, Team Katie and Ariana.
Yes. So with that, we'll go right into the tea of the week.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tea of the week notes this week, guys. Oh. It's really bad. Ooh. It's really, really lengthy. There's been a lot going on this week.
So much.
Tom Schwartz was on Jax and Brittany's podcast giving his perspective about why he pulled away from Joe.
I forgot. I'm not going to lie. I forgot about her. I really did. I saw this tea, and then I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to talk about this. And then it just literally left my brain because everything else was happening.
And that was only several days ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I completely gone.
Basically, she was telling lies, saying that she was babysitting an executive producer's kid, and then when he asked them about it, they were like, I've never even met Joe. Apparently, after meeting Schwartz's family, she spent 2 days with Schwartz's sister, who originally was just hounding Schwartz to basically wife her up. And then after spending 2 days with Joe, she had to block her and was apologizing to him for whatever the fuck was going on.
Yikes.
So many yikes. I really want to know what the fuck happened.
Okay, but imagine that though, like from a distance, it's like, oh my god, this girl's so great, like make it official, blah blah blah, like siblings do, and then like you meet her, and all of a sudden, what happened for that 180
so quickly too?
So after 48 hours, I want to know. The internet is we aspire in conspiracy theories.
Somebody in the comments too was asking Joe like why Schwartz's sister blocked. First of all, didn't even know that Schwartz had a sister.
No, I thought he only had brothers. This is news to me.
This was all news to me. The brothers ended up being at the wedding. The sister was not. Bravo and Blaze actually pointed this out during the week. And I'm like, what the? Wait a second.
It's still very strange to me that he didn't have. I don't know how you get married and like not have all of your siblings or like. That never sat right with me. That like his siblings and like a lot of his family,
parents.
His mom was there.
Oh, right, you're right.
But it always was weird to me that like his brothers and like his like a lot of his family was like not at the wedding. Like it never made sense to me. Like, what do you mean you're getting married and like nobody for like it's just friends? Like,
and like cast and crew and
that's fucking weird to me.
Very, very weird. But somebody was in the comments asking Joe like what happened, why was she blocked or whatever. And Joe's response was just simply like, I didn't know that she blocked me. I hope that everything is well or whatever. It must have been for good reason or whatever. It was weird because funny enough, after all this happened, Joe's no longer out there going live. She's been very quiet.
Yes, she has been. I think she went live like once last week and then we haven't heard from her since.
Literally, I hope that this is the fucking end of it because she's probably so sick and tired of people in the comments like, why do you keep going live?
We're sick and tired of her, so it's a mutual feeling, yeah.
Next tea, Faith entered the chat about Lala thinking she was Tupac and she basically went
oh my god,
off.
Wait. Okay, I'm having whiplash.
Right?
Okay.
This was only a few days ago.
Yes. I am so glad that she called Lala out on that shit. Because she really does use that, like, I don't know the right terminology for this, but she really plays into that, like...
that persona.
Yes.
That's the crazy part. It's one thing, right? People get canceled when they make racist tweets, right? But why is Lala not getting canceled for any of this?
She's from fucking Salt Lake City. It's like the whitest shit you could possibly be.
She grew up with money. She even said that. Never had to struggle a day in her fucking life. I am curious, though, what happened with Faith's lawsuit with Bravo because like it hit the headlines and then we never heard about it ever again.
There's probably not much to say about it.
I wonder if Bravo is like settling like quietly with
people.
Fuck
yeah, they're gonna settle. You think they want that kind of publicity? They're circling the drain as we speak.
That's true. They have a lot of video files to be digging through, so
yeah, it's either like in litigation or it's like they're like waiting for it's in like that weird like period of like it's been filed but nothing's happening.
Court takes a while, right? Oh my god. Same.
Blooper reel. Bravo's on fire.
Bravo's on fire.
It's on fire. Okay, you know that meme where it's like the dog and it's like everything's on fire behind it and it's like this is fine. Mm-hmm. That's Bravo. Like Andy Cohen is sitting there like this is fine, but like everything around him is like inflamed.
Rachel Leviss is given the go-ahead by the judge to pursue civil action against Tom Sandoval for invasion of privacy and eavesdropping, but not intention to inflict harm. So basically, this story started off...
I missed this. When did this happen?
So this is like the summed up version of the actual story, but basically Rachel put in her original complaint, right?
Yes. Oh, I did see this. Yes, I just didn't read it.
Tom filed for a demurrer, which is essentially like an objection to these things.
Yes.
And the judge had basically said fuck nah to at least those first 3 things.
Okay.
Or 2 things. And then basically dismissed the case for intention to inflict harm.
Well, yeah, because you were having an affair and having consensual sex, so it's not like he recorded you to like do you harm. He recorded you to like save it so he could whack off to you later.
Literally. And who knows how many times he actually did that.
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
It's Scumdival.
A lot in 7 months. So.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna keep my thought until later we get to the episode. But I have. That the 7 months just reminded me of something.
I have a feeling like I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, probably brain selling.
Jax Taylor has a new lady friend. She is the creator of the Dudes in the DMs Instagram page, a page that I truly had no idea even existed until this.
Is it one of those things where it's like catch your man in some other woman's DMs?
No, it's literally just like, it's all anonymous, but it's basically just screenshots of like the whack DMs that men will send her, I guess, or somebody.
Well, it's not anonymous anymore.
And then shows the response. I don't know if they're necessarily her DMs because she's listed as the creator of the page. It's like one of those like
submission things where it's like, look at what this okay, it's like, look at what this bitch ass hoe said in my DMs today.
Yes, exactly. And apparently she went to Jeremy Madix's birthday party at Jax's studio city, out here saying she's pregnant.
I'm pregnant. Fucking weird.
Who? First of all, who even are you? We didn't even know who you were until today.
This is the thing. I have questions for the mothers of these women that are dating Tom and Jax, okay? Where the fuck is these people's families?
Well, apparently, it came out that her parents already met Jax.
Yes.
Took a selfie with him and everything.
What is wrong with them? My mother would slap me upside. She would lock me in an insane asylum and say, "What the fuck are you doing with this man? They're trash, and they're documented trash."
And he's still out here saying, "My wife won't divorce me. We're never gonna get divorced." And blah 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 blah. Like, it's just very strange.
This is also the man that said on the Valley that his wife was not allowed to divorce him. He didn't say that verbatim, but he basically alluded to it, and the other guys called him out on it.
Yeah, basically saying that the marriage isn't perfect, but we'll get there because we'll recap the episode and whatnot. Ariana was on Katie and Dayna's podcast. Podcast episode just came out.
Yes.
What's today? Wednesday?
Yes,
today.
Yes.
Not much to discuss. Too much. Basically, a lot of the episode was really just the three of them kikiing with each other, which for that reason, I will suggest definitely giving it a listen or a watch.
They're a fun trio. Yeah.
They are such a fun trio. But in terms of like reunion talk, Ariana wouldn't change a thing about how she went into the reunion. She wouldn't have changed her responses even if she did watch the season.
Good for her.
Which I do believe.
Very diplomatic.
Yeah, very diplomatic answer. And that they are in agreement that watching that last 15 minutes of the finale seemed more like a dig at Ariana. And a way to force the conversation between her and Sandoval that they didn't get for the finale.
I'm really glad that somebody said that then, because we have all been thinking it via the interwebs, and I'm really glad that they recognized that for what it was, because we were talking about that on Reddit today and last night, that like that was 100% the production giving her the middle finger.
Because why did you guys all have to watch it together?
You didn't.
What was the reason?
To hurt her.
Real emotions. The only person who was going to feel any real emotions was Ariana.
Because everyone else knew about it.
Yeah. And we'll dive further into that as well when we get into this reunion recap, but that was interesting. She got to see what everybody was saying behind her back. You know, it looks like her and Katie's friendship will always stay solid. They have the sandwich shop now.
Oh, yeah. So those two feel very ride or die. I mean, they've gone through the same exact... They both were with a Tom. So.
And Lisa Vanderpump, at the same time of this podcast coming out, was on Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yeah.
The third of VPR Nation.
Yes, they had Stassi. She had Stassi, Ariana, and now she's had LVP.
I'm not gonna lie, I only listened to half of the podcast. I'm sure there wasn't that much. I remember seeing a snippet somewhere that James is probably one of the better reality TV stars out there. And then she was asked, like, which Vanderpump cast member she was most like when she was younger. And she said that she was more like Stassi.
I can see that.
And I too can see that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
So that was the tea of the week. Okay. It sounds like it was what?
Lala was talking about the reunion on her podcast.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right. I saw that first thing this morning.
Yes.
That was ridiculous.
Didn't have my listening, but it looked ridiculous.
I heard just the snippet where she was addressing part 3. Basically saying that, acknowledging she tends to lash out at fans. We already know that because she's already admitted to being somebody who projects. And the only part that really got her mad was not necessarily what people were saying about her throughout the season, but what people were saying about her as a mother. But the only comments I remember seeing of her as a mother has basically just been
Stop weaponizing it.
Yeah, that her and Scheana have been weaponizing being a mom.
You know how many moms there are in this world?
Yeah, even like I'm seeing moms all over social media coming out and being like, this does not excuse your behavior.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So she's actually going to be doing a podcast episode where she answers questions. And I have a feeling that this is not going to be the type of Q&A that we are hoping that it would be.
Oh, absolutely not. Hell no. She's only going to pick questions that boost up her ego and are very much like, yes, Lauren from Utah, you are so right all the time.
Yeah, like
because there are two people on the podcast with her no one calls her out. No one goes against her. No one has a different opinion. And she's going to cherry pick her questions.
Of course. And she's already a dog right now with her tail between her legs.
Oh, yeah.
Fresh after the rabies shot.
She really did not. It's so funny to me that she really thought we were going to watch that and be like, yeah, you're right, Lala.
Yeah, she ate.
Yeah, the mistress fucking ate. Sit the fuck down, go bake your baby.
Somebody made a comment out there basically saying like, Lala doesn't understand Ariana's situation because she was the Raquel in hers.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, someone had called her out today on Reddit. I wish I screenshotted this, talking about how it's really fucked up that she keeps using motherhood as like her defense when she was going so hard on Randall's ex-wife and posting the children on her Instagram without Amber's permission. And when Amber asked her to stop doing it, she continued to do it and she didn't care. And she just kept saying, Amber, well, you should have kept your legs closed and your insert word here tight. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When Lala had Randall's money and Randall's engagement ring on her finger pre-baby, and she thought she had the fucking world.
And the Range Rover.
She was a bitch to the ex-wife.
Yeah, I vaguely remember a little bit.
And now, all of a sudden, that you are another ex-fiance, ex-wife, with a child and child support in a custody battle. Now, all of a sudden, like, if I was Amber, I would never forgiven that bitch.
This is a really hot take that I'm about to spew right now.
I'm ready for it. Bring it on.
Really hot take. This is going to come off super mean.
I
can't help it.
Okay, do it. Bring it on.
You know, it seems as though Lala having this baby is basically her way of trying to obtain some sort of validation in her life. Like Scheana seeks validation in men and in being a people pleaser in her friendships. Lala is just seeking validation in being a mom. Yeah, I told you this was a very hot take.
I don't disagree with you, though. I don't, because she did it the entire reunion. I'm a mom. It's my pregnancy hormones. That doesn't excuse your behavior.
Like, I'll give it a little bit of like, okay, I get you're really emotional, but this is also very on par with how you have been acting all season without the hormones.
You're an asshole, you're an asshole. I think I've said that once before on this before. I didn't give a fuck who you are, what you are, where you wear, what kind of... If you're a dick, you're a dick.
This is why the whole friend group is, like, so fractured.
Yeah.
It's all just been, like, a dick measuring contest that Ariana hasn't even been trying to participate in and still is winning.
She's living her life, yeah.
But let's get into the recap.
All right, here we go.
Let's get into it.
Let me chug this White Claw real quick.
Wait. Oh, good.
My wine's almost empty. My White Claw's halfway there. I'm going to be a little tipsy by the end of this.
I got to catch up.
Well, you've been spilling the tea of the week, and I've just been sitting here stewing. Bring it on.
So, part 3 of the Vanderpump Rules reunion.
You sounded so Andy Cohen right there.
Oh my God. You think I have it in me?
The Vanderpump Rules reunion.
Stop. I love that. I would love to, like, host a reunion or something with Andy Cohen.
A contest where they like have a fan like run the reunion. Dead ass, okay? Because you know the first question would be, Tom Sandoval, why are you such a fucking dick?
Sign me up. Andy, I'm right here.
No, I'm actually really pissed that nobody called him out on what the fuck he meant by this is good for me. We just glossed over it.
I gotta get there first.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I rewatched it today. I have feelings.
I know, I did too. Okay, so we're continuing from last week's part 2 of the reunion.
Yeah.
James and Sandoval are arguing.
Yeah.
Basically, doggy daddy, suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Suck a dick.
Sandoval is called out for living in everyone's past to justify his behavior and says that the ultimate betrayal was really to Ariana. Okay, great, thanks. You're a year late for that realization, but sure. Okay, great. Good to know that you're finally addressing it.
Good job. Here's a gold fucking star, you absolute worm with a mustache.
Brock addresses being so triggered at the water tasting. Ariana was then asked if she could ever be in a room with Sandoval and was asked if she's tired of people saying that she needed to move on. And the best way I can sum it up is really her quoting, the only way past it is through it, and she just basically needed to be given the time to feel the feelings because, hello, 3 months had only passed since she found out her partner of 10 years was cheating on her.
That's been pissing me off all season. Everyone's like, get over it, get over it. It's been 90 days. 90 days. Let's not quantify it in months because that makes it sound longer, right? Let's quantify what it is. It was 90 days since she found that fucking video. 90 days. And you want her to be over it? It has now been 365. So obviously right now at the reunion she's in a different place. But 90 days. And that's nothing.
And sure, she may have started dating again. She's allowed to start dating again. It's not exactly...
She had said...
It's not like her and Dan were already establishing their future.
No. And she had said, what was, like, weeks during part 1 of the reunion or something, that she met him 10 days later, but they weren't actually in a relationship for months later. I really hate this whole, well, you were with someone else and 8 days later.
And I know that we keep rehashing this, but honestly, it's like we've been saying, Ariana took the time to really, and still is taking the time to focus on herself, her career, her finances, getting the fuck out of that house. And that's it, you know?
I mean, this was filmed in March. Mm-hmm. It's now almost June. And that hurt that she had last night was still so raw and real. And, like, you could see it, and it's been a year. And can you imagine what she was holding in for those 3 months of filming? And y'all wanted her to get over it? And the thing is, I just keep thinking about this thing that she said. She said this in season 8 when she was at dinner at Tom Tom with Lala and Stassi. And they were asking her why she doesn't talk to them about her feelings, right? And she doesn't tell them when she's in a dark place. So she goes, it's not a safe place. And I just kept thinking about that last night when she was like, I'm crying by myself. I'm not crying to Sheena. Because she knows that it's not a safe place.
Those are the last people that she needs to be crying in front of.
The last as evident by the fact that she said to Sheena, do not talk to Tom about me. And then not even a whole minute later, she said blah, 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 blah. You're proving her fucking point.
Every time. They transition to Jax Taylor. Andy asks how many people, are still talking to Brittany. Points out the picture of Jax and the Toms being the 3 stooges together. I almost said amigos.
Dumb, dumb, and dumber.
Dumb, dumb, and dumber. Yep. They talk about Jax's confrontation with Sandoval in the mid-season. Schwartz basically says, you knew it was coming. Yeah, guys, you all have a call sheet. We know this is how TV works.
Yeah.
And that was really it. They talk a little bit about that.
I kind of really wasn't paying attention to that. I was really just waiting for the...
Yeah. Andy asks Katie about the rumors that she heard of Jax cheating on Brittany. Sheena basically changed tune, saying that she believed those rumors until she found out that Brittany had his phone passwords, as if he wasn't getting his dick wet in the bathroom.
And then Tom or James said that?
James was like, there's no time to be texting Sheena.
I'm glad that someone called that out. I forgot. I think it was James. But they had said, it's like, he's not having an affair like Sandoval. He's just fucking the girl in the bathroom and then dipping out.
Sandoval did also say, too, like, you can't get away with that anymore. He would know.
He would know. Well, I said this, it was either last week or the week before, that Jax is dumb, but he's smart. He's smart enough to understand that he can't get away with an affair, a full-blown affair. No. But he can get away with getting his dick wet in the bathroom of his pop-up bar.
It's easier for him emotionally anyways.
He can't. He's not smart enough to hold down an affair and juggle 2 women at once. But he can absolutely get it in the bathroom and then like go do something else.
Yeah, this is not like a Carmen and Tiffany situation. So.
No, absolutely not. No, it is a random girl in his bar that is throwing herself at him that he gets his validation from, and his ego gets boosted, and then he goes home to his wife.
Right. Lala mentions that Brittany had told her that they hadn't been getting intimate, and Lala immediately clocks that, and then, because she has that experience, she goes, well, listen, if he's not getting it from you, he's getting it somewhere else, which is not a lie.
It's not really, no.
Not a lie.
No.
They talk about Jax and
in
Brittany's...
an unhealthy, toxic relationship, 100%.
So they talk again about Jax and Brittany announcing their separation. The group as a whole seemed to think that cheating didn't have anything to do with it.
Okay.
Which is really strange. Schwartz mentions that he had just gone to Kentucky with the 2 of them. Kristen was actually also on that trip. I believe that was when they went to Comic-Con.
Yes.
In Kentucky.
Yes.
And then Lala's like, oh, is that Is that when you guys got Brittany all heated up to start World War III?
Oh, yeah, it really was World War III.
This was so weird, though, because this is not exactly like something that ended their friendship, because they still ended up filming the after show together. So what was the point of bringing any of that up?
I don't know, and I have decided to no longer try and figure out what goes on in that Lauren from Utah give them nothing brain, okay? I've stopped trying to figure out how her brain works, because it just is not, listen, it's not normal. I don't have a normal brain, right? I'm neurospicy as fuck, right? But, like, that bitch is... There's no figuring it out.
Yeah.
No, I'm done trying. She is who she is, and she's never going to change.
Yep. So she mentions that Brittany had basically sent her an angry text on the day of her gender reveal, basically saying that she found out that they hired her nanny.
Oh my God. Okay.
Without their permission, and that Jax was yelling at her.
Hold on. I have things to say about this as a former nanny. Lala is right that there is a difference between a babysitter and a nanny. Mm-hmm, right?
Wait, what is the... I actually don't know. What is the difference?
A nanny is more of a third parental figure, where we are... in the day-to-day, we are doing the same things as moms. Like, it is not just, oh, watch this kid while we go on a date. You know, like babysitting. You're watching while they're sleeping, right? As a nanny, we're doing homework. We're doing housework. We're making meals. We're taking them to their activities. We're doing
so it's X, like a lot more intimate and deeper than that, yeah.
Yes. It is not an easy job. It is not an easy job. It is not babysitting. I'm not sitting there. We're not playing video games when they're going to bed. I'm taking her to gymnastics. We're taking them to tutoring. We're doing their homework. We're making dinner. We're folding laundry. We're essentially another part of the household. Okay. It is not just, I'm watching the kid while you go on a date.
So it's like the Brady Bunch and you were their Alice?
Exactly. Yes. When I was a nanny, I did housework. I did homework. I did grocery runs. I did school runs. You're essentially like a parent. Like you discipline, you're on the same, you know what I mean? Like you're on the same, it's a third parent, right? Because in this economy, both parents have to work. You don't have stay-at-home moms anymore. I'm essentially like a stay-at-home mom that gets paid, okay? Right? What Jax and Brittany have is essentially a nanny. If I go by what they say and what I have heard, they have a nanny. Okay. That is in the day-to-day with Cruz, that is doing the day-to-day things with Cruz, making him food, feeding him. It is not a babysitter. They have a nanny. Okay. And they are completely justified in being upset about Lala trying to take that nanny, because it is not easy to find a good nanny. There are not great ones out there, and not a lot that are willing to do what a lot of parents want and that are on the same page. It's hard to find somebody that is aligned with your parenting style. I just happened to get lucky where like the family that I was with for a really long time were wonderful. And they their parenting was very similar to like how I would parent. Okay. And so we vibed really well, but it's not easy to find that enmeshment and have the kids feel safe with that person, because it is an outside person that you are with for sometimes very long hours. I sometimes work 12-hour shifts. Like it's not, especially in the pandemic, like it's not easy. Yeah. Right. And as someone as Cruz's age, who was also as Brittany said, in speech therapy and physical therapy, like that is an extra stress. So Brittany is completely justified in being upset that Lala is trying to poach the babysitter, the nanny, especially with Cruz being neurodivergent. And her being open about it. Like, I don't feel bad saying that, because he's in speech therapy. He's very clearly not where he should be for his age group. So having someone that he feels safe with and he feels comfortable with is hugely important. So I think I'm kind of on Brittany's side here, that like she was justified in being pissed off at Lala. Okay. And I don't necessarily like Lala trying to like diminish the role that this person is playing in that family dynamic.
Yeah, well, that sounds like something Lala would do.
It is, because she's trying to make herself look better. And look, it could actually be a babysitter, and at this point I am taking Brittany at her word. And Jax at their word, which I normally don't do, because they're lying liars who lie. But if you go by what you see and what you hear from them, it is very clearly in that gray area of nanny babysitter. Okay, gotcha. And Lala needs to like go find somebody else, okay?
I really fucking dated myself, by the way, by mentioning the Brady Bunch. Like,
you didn't.
These Gen Zers, they don't know no fucking Brady Bunch.
Oh my God, the Brady Bunch. No, but it's to find a good nanny is really fucking hard, because it's not a job everybody wants to do. And a lot of nannies, a lot of girls, or people, I should say, because it's not just women that do it, a lot of them go into it thinking, oh, I'm just babysitting for more money. You're not. You get paid that amount of money because I'm doing a lot of fucking work.
To be another like live-in person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
that makes
sometimes,
sense.
I mean, I worked sometimes from 2 to 2.
Yeah.
With what their jobs were. And with what Brittany and Jax's jobs are with their bar and what they do. Like, it is probably probably a very similar schedule to what I had. And it's not an easy fucking job. Especially with someone Cruz's age. Like, the family I was with longest, the girls were older. They were school age. So, like, I wasn't changing diapers.
Right.
But, like, Cruz is 3. That's a tough-ass age. I started the girls with 3, and that shit ain't easy. So I'm Team Brittany on this one.
Yeah,
I think she was justified being upset.
Yep.
Lala needs to sit the fuck down and go find somebody else.
And that's why your 63-year-old mother was being questioned by Kentucky Muffin.
Oh, somebody said on Reddit that it was like a theory as to why Lisa ended up siding with Ariana later on, because she was mad that Lala had said Kentucky Muffin and like took her like little quip about
that sounds ridiculous.
It does, but it's really funny, and I wanted to tell you that earlier before we started filming, and I forgot.
That is so ridiculous.
But I love the internet because that is so out of pocket. Like, how did we get there?
Like, I need to know what the rationale is behind.
How did we get there? Like,
Sandoval and Sheena's friendship is acknowledged. I guess he had unblocked Sheena and Summer Moon. Somehow not Brock, the one person who was literally defending him all season long. Until, I guess, probably after the reunion, I'm sure.
Guys, I'm really feeling this alcohol. I'm starting to feel it, so this is I'm about to be real fun.
I really need to catch up now.
I'm about to be real fun.
They talk about Brock acknowledging that Tom was a better friend to Sheena than Ariana was, and his rationale. Let me get through this one because I got some shit to say about this.
I'm ready. Bring it on. I love when you have shit to say.
To say his rationale was that Sheena had historically fought with the girls for her place in the group. And all I could say when I looked at the TV was, that may be true. However, Ariana wasn't one of them. Ariana was never one of them.
She was defending Sheena to the death with every single one of them, every fucking time. Her and Stassi got in a huge ass fight on Katie's wedding season because she was defending Sheena for defending Lala. Or some shit like that. You're gonna come in here and try and insinuate that Ariana was one of them? She was on the show for Sheena. She came on the show to be Sheena's ally.
I was just about to say, your wife should probably remind you, sir, that she is the reason Ariana even went on the show to begin with.
Okay, that also I just realized it's pissed me off because she has been saying all season, he took pictures with me at the upfronts in New York as some kind of qualifier as to why she's staying friends with Tom.
Oh, and he gave her money during the pandemic. But you know what else?
Even aside from that, right? We're going to go back to the beginning, right? She wants to keep pulling up this shit from 12 years ago about he took photos with me at the upfronts and nobody else would. Your friend who denied going on the show from the beginning, she was asked to be on the show in the beginning. She said no. Your friend then finally says, okay, fine, I'll come on. For you. She joins a whole ass show for you, and that is not good enough. The upfront shit is more important to you than your friend joining a whole ass show, her whole ass life on this show? Like, this is some fucked up shit.
Albeit, Sheena had to fight for her place in the season, and I'm sure she earned a lot of, like, people's sympathy in the very beginning of the show, because people are all like, why is everybody being mean to Sheena?
I was fucking Team Sheena all the way, because she seemed really remorseful about the thing with Brandy, and I felt really, like, people really fucking, as you remember.
But Ariana was the only person that actually gave a shit about Sheena.
Ariana came on the show for her because all of the women on the show were, like, really, really fucking mean to Sheena. Like, really fucking mean to Sheena.
Like college sorority hazing.
Oh, it was brutal. It was bad. All because she had an affair years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's not who she is now. And I will give Sheena that she definitely has grown since her Eddie Cibrian affair days. But, like, to hold that against her when she's with somebody else. Like, she was with Shay when she came on the show. Like, she's very clearly, I will give Sheena that the girls were fucking brutal to her. And they started. And, like, everybody really felt bad for her. We all hated Stassi and Katie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a definite Stassi hater for a long time. I was a Katie hater for a while. Like, she earned her place on this show. Like, she's been through a lot. Yeah. But it's really gone to her head. There was also a point to this thought, and I am a little tipsy, so my thought is gone.
All right, so we'll move on to the next
on to the next thought.
But yes, Ariana basically says, in response, she goes, yeah, well, obviously we're all going to get torn apart to stay out of the comments, because we all know Sheena lives in the comments.
Yes.
And that she has been in Sheena's corner from day one. We've already discussed this. We don't need to rehash it, because Ariana herself even knows that.
Yes.
Sheena then mentions that she had already felt distance from Ariana
before
the season started filming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And partly because Ariana even said it herself, she was in isolation mode because she's depressed because her man was cheating on her and they had just broken up. Also, the other half of it is that she was fucking booked and busy doing Lifetime movies and doing commercials and doing other brand deals all before she got Dancing with the Stars. I know I'm missing something.
You are. Dancing with the Stars comes after the season, though. I hated that whole, like, well, it was trying to, like, justify why she was pissy this season with Lala and shitting on her friend. Well, we are already distant. Did you not just drop everything 3 months before this show filmed to go sit at her house and commiserate? Fucking, what the fuck was that then?
Right. So she can talk about her experience trying to, like, okay, maybe not punching Rachel in the face, but, like, pushing her. There's honestly, like, a day that I'm starting to be like, maybe Sheena did punch her.
I think she did. Drunk Sara thinks she did.
Andy then brings up Ariana on Watch What Happens Live. She had done Watch What Happens Live 4 days prior to shooting the reunion.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Saying that the things that were said behind her back were hurtful.
Yes.
And then she acknowledges the scene where Sheena was at girls' lunch with Lala, Katie, Christina Kelly, and Christina Kelly asked Sheena, well, is he more sad about losing your friendship than he is about losing, like, the relationship with Ariana? And she goes, yes.
Oh, that was fucked up. I'm glad they brought that up. I forgot that even happened.
Yeah, so Ariana acknowledged being hurt by that. And then Sheena tries to basically gaslight Ariana, saying that she only saw clips on TikTok and that she was basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, this wasn't word for word what she said, but essentially basically saying that she was missing context. But bitch, we weren't.
Okay, but that's really fucked up, though. It doesn't even matter if I'm missing context. For you to say context, no context. Also, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand the context of that question. The question was, do you think that he feels more bad about losing you than his partner of 9 years? And you said, fuck yeah. Okay? Right? That's all the context you need.
That's so mean.
That's all the context you need. That's some fucked up shit to say. That's some fucked up shit to say.
It's really mean to your best friend.
TikTok clips or not, she didn't need to see the show to know that's fucking hurtful, right? She just lost her life partner, the person she saw spending the rest of her life with. She froze eggs for, she had a house for, like her whole future was molded around this man. And you're gonna go out here and say that he feels more bad about losing a friend?
You don't need context. You don't need the rest of the scene for that.
You don't think Katie didn't immediately go to Ariana afterwards and tell her? Because I fucking would.
I think she did.
Absolutely. That's what I keep saying. She may not have seen the show, but I guarantee you that Logan and Brad and Meredith and Katie were telling her what was happening when it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, they said XYZ is a little sus, right? She said this on this one. Oh, I heard her say blah, 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 right? Because that's what friends do.
Yep.
You don't want to watch the show. I'm going to give you some context. I'm going to tell you the gist.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because she went into this reunion a little blind, but she was quick enough to figure everything out. And I think it's because she kind of had some cliff notes. I have seen reunions where they go in completely without nothing, right? And they get really flustered and whoa.
Jax, every season.
Well, yes. But, like, not even that, but, like, Housewives and former VPR reunions where, like, that person very clearly didn't watch, and so they have no idea what's happening. But Ariana came into this, yes, not watching, but she's been very quick, all of these, and every time everything has come up with some sort of response, and she doesn't look flustered or blind, right? She really is not, she doesn't look that blind.
Right.
So I really do think that somebody was telling her what was being said without going into too much detail, so she didn't go in completely like, I can't see anything. I don't know what's happening.
Sheena then is asked if she was jealous of the situation.
No, bitch.
Sheena basically says that it's not her being jealous. She calls it feeling left out and that she confirms
jealous,
needing to feel validation. And then she says that
jealousy.
She basically was just afraid that Ariana was going to forget about her. Like, what does that have to do with the strong feel? And this was all after, by the way, they pulled out the scene of Sheena just literally asking for things to be about her for once. That has nothing to do with Ariana forgetting you. That has everything to do with you not catching the same level of success that Ariana's been
Bitch has had 2 weddings, a million storylines on this fucking show. Everything. The whole show started because of you. You were the opening scene of this fucking show. It has always been about you. And the one fucking time you're not the center of a goddamn storyline, you're gonna cry. You're fucking jealous. Her and Lala. Like, they can say each other blue in the face. they're not jealous. They're so fucking jealous. And you can see it in everything they say and every little interaction and movement they have. And it's all written all over her face.
This is why I keep saying that this show is basically just one big dick measuring contest.
She's fucking jealous as shit. I used to be a Scheana defender, and now Scheana and I are no longer besties.
Scheana does say, though, that her friendship with Ariana at that point in time is good. But again, she brings up not getting an answer to a text.
That's not now.
And Ariana then says that Scheana is family and that she will always be family.
This happened, right? Right? And she goes, we're fine right now. We're family. And then not even maybe 4 days after this shit is filmed, she's in New York for Watch What Happens Live. And she goes to the show. A week after this shit is filmed. And Ariana snubbed her at Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah. Yeah. We're fine. She's like, yeah, we're family, but that doesn't mean shit. She snubbed your ass at her own show a week after this reunion happened.
As she should, because she found out the shit that was being said about her.
I just thought about that because I was like, as they were saying that last night, like, I still, like, I love you, your family. And that's the thing with family is that you go low contact with them sometimes. You go no contact with them sometimes, but it doesn't mean you don't love them any less.
Her foot was Ariana's foot was practically kind of already like one way out the door by the time the reunion happened.
Oh yeah. But I just thought of that and I think that's really funny. We're fine. Her and I are okay right now. Bitch, your ass got snubbed.
This does actually remind me too that like with all of the Vanderpump people having podcasts, Ariana goes on Katie's saying like, oh, this is my favorite podcast.
It's everyone's favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Who the fuck wants to listen to blah blah from Utah?
Katie and Dayna do have a really fun podcast.
They have a really great dynamic. Yeah, they have a really great dynamic.
They show an extended scene. I think this might be the first of the extended scenes.
No, the first one was they went into more depth with James. James had a little bit more. They brought up his T-shirt with the worm with the mustache.
Oh, right, the worm with the. I did.
The
forget
other
to bring
one
that up.
was the thing about the Apple song.
That's
okay. Yes, that's the second extended scene. The first one was. They showed a little bit more of the James Tom thing at the beginning of the episode.
I think that was probably some of them. Like James barely spoke this whole.
That was like the most we've heard from him the entire
the whole
3-part reunion. Yeah.
So
we didn't have much to say.
They talk about Scheana writing the song. There wasn't really, I feel like, all that much addressed.
I don't know why we brought that up.
I don't know why we brought that up. I mean, it was basically just the whole crew saying, oh, it's a good song, including Sandoval. Brock is asked why he defended Sandoval more than anyone else. Again, I'm paraphrasing. Brock basically gave us a word salad, but he said that he's basically said that Sandoval just needs people around him to help to show him when he's doing something wrong. That's what I got out of what he said.
Okay, and he had that, and then he cheated on her. Okay, he doesn't care about that.
And then he started rumors about the other ones.
Okay, actually, whoa, hold on.
And encouraged a restraining order on the other one.
I just fucking forgot about this. Holy shit. Brock and Scheana are out here defending this man to the death after he encouraged a restraining order and then also planted rumors. Mm-hmm. This shit, he fucking planted articles and you're gonna out here defending him? I just realized that. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Isn't this so much fun?
Oh my god. What fucking lunatics.
Oh this my god, lunacy.
This is psychotic.
This is lunacy we have here.
You're that desperate for a paycheck and a show to keep going that you're gonna completely forget about the fact that this man tried to blow up your marriage?
Sell your soul, bitch. Sell your soul.
That's so fucked. I just remembered that just now. He planted articles that you slept with Rachel and you're gonna defend him. I'm sorry. If my boyfriend, right? If my boyfriend's out here, someone tried to say that he cheated on me and he's gonna turn around and defend him 6 months later, fuck that. Fuck that. No. You're not gonna say that shit. Mm-hmm. Absolutely fucking not.
Fuck that shit, I'm out.
I'm sorry. I could never imagine Max, like, out here being like, or Sean even, okay? We're freshly new. We're a freshly new baby relationship.
Damn, you just dropped his name on the pod.
I cannot imagine, right? Someone saying shit like that and Max being like, oh, it's fine. He didn't mean it. He's trying really hard to, like, redeem himself.
Oh, hell no. Max would be like, fuck this dude.
That's what I'm saying. No honest man who cares about his partner more than a TV show or more than his bros is gonna be like, yeah, no, it's fine. He, like, insinuated that I cheated on my wife and he tried to, like, blow up our marriage as, like, retaliation because, like, his life is blowing up. But, like, it's fine. He's cool. He's, like, a decent guy. No. Max is gonna scorch earth that shit. You can in private be like, babe, that was really fucked. Like maybe next time we don't.
And I would. And I would.
That's what I'm saying. But like even like that's the thing. Like when your spouse fucks up in public, right? And I said this about Jax and Brittany before. Like you don't call them out in public. You are a united front, right? You're in this together. You are a duo. You are one and the same person. Like he does some shit, you're gonna defend him. In the car, you're gonna go, what the fuck was that? You goddamn fucking idiot.
You hooligan.
You hooligan, right? You're gonna call him out at the privacy of your home, but in public, right? You're gonna defend your person because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
When someone comes at your partner and your marriage, you defend that shit. You don't turn around and say he's a good guy though. He's fine. We should just forgive him. He's decent.
Yeah.
He encouraged a restraining order on her wife that sent her into an postpartum OCD spiral. Right? And then he tried to say that you slept with the same girl.
Like, she started taking Lexapros.
I literally can't. Brock is so, I literally can't. I'm sorry. If my partner ever did that, fucking, you're in the doghouse for, like, ever. Now I'm mad.
Yep. Ariana is then asked how she sees Brock, if she basically sees him differently after he said the things he said about Sandoval.
Yes.
Well, not really. The short answer for Ariana is no. He's basically helped her in his own ways as well. So
yeah. Brock is not the worst person in the world, right? But like
he's just making really dumb decisions for a paycheck.
He's making very dumb decisions for a paycheck. I think it's really stupid that they're all banking on this show being their only source of income.
That's what I've been saying for weeks.
It's
her
really
and
dumb.
Lala should have been focusing so hard on the businesses that they keep boasting about instead of like all they have to do is show up. Like I said last week, they could have had whole storylines about their businesses.
Well,
I know Lala did for like 5 minutes.
She was saying, if you don't care about your place on the show, at least care about mine.
Oh, that irked me so much.
It is not your coworker's problem. It is not your coworker's problem to worry about your paycheck. You think my coworkers are worrying about if I get paid?
Correct.
If I'm pulling my weight, make a fucking storyline, bro, instead of water tasting and sperm donors.
Seriously.
Talk about your custody battle, because I'm sure you can talk about it in ways that does not.
Talk about your rebranding. You don't even need to talk about the custody battle. Talk about the rebrand that you're trying to do so
Why do you have to rebrand? What is your Timo makeup like anyway? Like, you can create your banking on somebody else for a storyline and then getting pissed off when they don't do what you want with their own storyline is Delulu to the max.
And not only just that, you should be getting mad at producers for not allowing these types of storylines for you. And for
she's not going to get mad at production because she's production's puppet.
Well, obviously, because they probably are feeding her these breadcrumbs of like
they very
her
clearly,
own show.
If we go by that blind item from last week, they very clearly were about to give her her own spinoff for her sperm donor baking baby. So
Andy asks Katie if Sandoval played a role in her divorce. Obviously, yeah. They play a flashback basically of all of their fights. Sandy then, I call him Sandy because it's easier in my notes.
It is, yeah.
Sandy then blames her for getting involved, or he blames their rips on her getting involved in Schwartz and Sandy's when we already know that their beef started long before that.
He's hated Katie since like season 1. Since like day 1, that man is hating. It's the same with Jax.
Yeah.
They don't like Katie because Katie doesn't fall for their manipulation and Katie doesn't fall for their bullshit and Katie's going to call them out. That's why they don't like Katie.
Yep. Schwartz swears that his perception of Katie was never influenced by Sandoval. I don't believe that.
No, because she was right. I don't know. Either she said it or somebody said it last night, but it was like when your best friend is in your ear talking shit about that person, try as you might, it's going to warp your perception.
Yeah. She was like, you guys just don't like me.
Especially if you're not shutting it down. If you're not shutting your partner down, don't talk about my wife like that, and you're letting him do that, you're going to be susceptible to being like, oh, you're right. She is a piece of shit. You're right. She's blah, 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 blah. You let a worm in your brain. And I fully believe that Sandy was absolutely a factor in there. There's a lot of reasons why they got divorced. It's very clearly not just Sandoval. Like Schwartz.
It's not just Sandoval.
Schwartz was a terrible husband. He's a terrible partner.
Yeah. Awful.
But like Sandoval definitely was one of the bricks in the wall of shame.
Yeah. They go into the San Fran trip. Andy basically asks Ariana, if Dan was showing up to San Francisco, why didn't he just why wasn't he with the rest of the group? Long story short, they were supposed to hang out that week anyway. The trip just fell on those dates. And then he didn't want to be filmed, period. He wasn't getting paid. He wasn't, he just didn't want to be on the show.
Okay, it's so funny.
Did not want to be on the show.
Because they brought up, well, Brock didn't get paid right away. Well, then Brock is a shit negotiator.
Well, but he's your boyfriend. So I'm not going to make my boyfriend show up somewhere that he's not going to get paid in. And also, why do I want him hanging out with my groups of friends with my ex-boyfriend?
If he doesn't want to be on the show, he doesn't have to be on the show. Excuse me, Lala. I seem to remember your no-neck man wanting to not be on the show, and you let that slide.
And the way that she evaded questions on the reunion.
I seem to remember that you can't. Stassi said this years ago when they brought up why she was hiding Patrick and why Patrick wasn't on the show, and she's like, "I tried, but he didn't want to. I can't make another person do something. Mm-hmm. She can't make Dan be on the show."
Exactly. Ariana actually ended up saying on Katie and Dayna's podcast, like, she had to basically convince him just to even allow them to film the FaceTimes.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even want that.
No. And I think that, too, kind of gives me, like, less cause for pause. Because if he was so not eager to be on the show. And I feel like he's with her because he likes her, not because he wants to be on the show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it really makes me feel even better about him. Because if it was a struggle to get FaceTime calls on, then, like, that man really is not with her for a television show.
Right.
But, like, to my other point of Dan not getting paid, he should get paid. If you're going to be on TV that much, you should get paid. Peter didn't come back because he wasn't getting paid.
Peter's also been in that show, though, since day one.
Well, yes. But, like, Brock, if Brock didn't get paid when he first came on the show, that's Brock's problem. Then you should have negotiated. Mm-hmm. You should have negotiated.
Get a talent manager.
Get a talent manager. If you're marrying into and dating somebody that's on a reality TV show and you're going to be a prominent figure from now on, get your bag, bro. Fucking negotiate.
He probably didn't feel the need to negotiate at the time because they had sold their gyms. He probably had a bunch of cash at that time.
Okay, but even still, you can't complain later, well, I didn't get paid. That's your own fault.
Yeah, that's true.
That's your own fault.
They go into another extended scene just solely talking about Dan's hair. Just Dan's hair.
I think I missed that.
It was like a blip.
Okay, it must have happened when I was cleaning brushes because I was listening to it today, but I didn't even realize that was a thing we talked about.
It was very, very quick. Lala basically said something, but I don't think it was all that important. They just basically talked about how long Dan's hair is.
It is really long.
Yeah.
It looks really soft too. I kind of want to just like.
I know, I do too. They go into Schwartz and Katie's friendship. And I thought that this was a rather sweet sentiment. Schwartz was a really shitty husband to her, but it's nice to see that they at least do have a friendship maintained from all this.
I mean, they were together for a really long time.
He did get a little emotional. He basically said, like, I do have some times where I cry and I miss her, but, I don't have any regrets. This was the best decision. And it was.
Yeah, they were very toxic, even from back in season 1.
I do give them a lot of credit for being able to salvage that relationship after 12 years of just toxicity.
Yeah.
And pain and hurt and drinks thrown and like it just
they never should have gotten married, but
they never should have. But it's just nice to because this is a very rare case. Like you don't see relationships after 12 years.
No.
Still ending on a friendship like that.
Yeah, no, it's really nice to see that they're still able to maintain something. Yeah.
And then they talked briefly about Katie and him kissing the same girls. Or maybe that was towards the end, but either way.
I don't remember. It did happen. I do remember hearing that.
And she's like, I can't wait to meet your new girlfriend.
Yeah, and he's like, whoa.
whoa. And then Sandoval's like, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I giggled.
Yes, I did.
I'm like, fine. I'll give him that. Andy acknowledges Scheana talking to Sandoval to try and apologize to Ariana because of how much Ariana brought it up that Sandoval never really apologized to her for the main thing. Scheana then assumed that that's what she needs in order to heal. And I guess even she was annoyed watching the flashbacks of those two.
I'm glad that she recognized that.
Yeah, she realized in that moment, it seems that, or maybe I'm sure as she was watching it, she realized this was a terrible idea.
Yes, I appreciated her saying that because she wasn't hearing what Ariana was saying. She wasn't saying that because she wanted an apology. She was saying that to show that he's not remorseful. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that that clicked for Scheana eventually. Not when it should have, but at least she got there at some point.
Yeah. Weirdly, didn't get it when Ariana was trying to express it to her, but at least she got it watching back her stupid behaviors.
Well, she looked at herself, and then she goes, oh my God, I'm so cringy. Oh my God, that's why I was cringy. It had nothing to do with Ariana. It's because she watched herself.
And then they go into the last 15 minutes of the finale. And Sheena looks like a ghost took over her body. She's like her Botox just
melted. Okay, guys, listen. I didn't watch live last night. The Rangers were playing.
I made her watch last night.
I was going to watch before I got here.
I know you were, but I knew the feelings were going to be so fresh that
But I didn't watch live. Okay, so I watched after the Rangers game. I went to bed and I watched it. And I'm Snapchatting this bitch like it's nobody's goddamn business. I'm pausing that shit. I'm like, Sheena's fucking face, okay? Dead, gagged, gone.
Gagged, gone.
When they showed that clip, and I had a feeling that they were gonna show Lala and Sheena being like, oh fuck, right? Because they were probably banking the whole last 8 hours of this filming that she didn't see the show, so they can get away with it, right? She hasn't watched it. She's probably never gonna watch it. So they really probably thought they were gonna get away with this shit, right?
We're in the clear.
It's good. And then we're gonna watch the last 5 minutes, last 2 minutes, whatever the fuck it was. I have never seen Sheena so fucking shook. I literally took a screenshot. I took a photo of her face and I Snapchatted to Taylor and I was like, bitch, been caught.
My notes had zero length when these moments were happening. I watched it live and all I wrote was, the last 15 minutes! Exclamation points all across. I wrote, Ariana looks so hurt. Sheena is shook. Everybody is crying.
She looked like when like your toddler is trying to like lie to get out of something, like, oh mommy, I didn't hide the cookies, but like they hide the fucking cookies.
They find the cookies like underneath behind the bed.
I didn't put it there, right? That's what her face looked like, right? It looked like the kids when I nannied, and I'd be like, why isn't your homework done? Well, I did it, but where is it? I have to sign it. No, you don't. It's the same fucking face. I'm lying. You've been caught. She done been caught. And I've never seen Sheena more unbotoxed than in that moment. Like,
you know what really pissed me off though about this? They showed the hot mic moment and they had the camera on Sandoval and you could see that sinister smile on his face.
And then we don't fucking bring it up.
Reliving that moment because they probably didn't see it at that moment.
I don't even care if you didn't see it. Why did we not talk about it? We glossed over it. No one asked him verbatim what the fuck he meant by that.
Because they didn't care. They only cared about finally getting that conversation between Ariana and Sandoval. That's why they glossed over it.
They had it. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. You fucking got your conversation last season. She had it. You got it. She called you. The cameras came up. She didn't have to call you. You got your fucking conversation. She screamed, I don't care about fucking Raquel. The shit we all quote on a daily goddamn basis, okay? I quote that shit. I don't give a crap about fucking Raquel, right? Okay? But you got your conversation. You got your conversation, right? You got it. It didn't happen in the season you wanted to, but you got it, right? And now you're going to force this shit on her, and we're going to completely gloss over the incredibly narcissistic thing he's saying while he's sitting there with a camera in his face, smiling like he's a fucking sinister-ass demon, and then not talk about it? No one's gonna ask what he meant by it. What did you mean? No one's gonna talk about it. We're just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. Because we're more worried about the girl crying that got her heart broken, her life turned upside down. That's what we care more about than the guy that just made a fool out of your show. Like you spent months, manipulated and edited this shit to give that man a good fucking edit. And you're not gonna call him out on ruining it in 2 seconds?
He sabotaged it all season long and afterwards.
Well, he did. But, like, you, in the context of, like, the reunion and just talking about what happened on the show, right? You tried your damnedest. You had fucking Lala out here being your goddamn puppet. Twisting and editing and making it so you want us and making Ariana the villain this entire season. Not that we fell for it, but you tried, right? And you're not going to call him out on undoing everything you just spent months doing. In 2 seconds, the laugh is good for me, and you're not going to call him out on it. We're just going to forget it.
Smug smile on his face really
It's the laugh for me. It's the laugh for me that I can't get out of my head. Like, it's not even the words he said. It's the laugh that he did after that is so disgustingly sinister and just.
And all Ariana had to say was, exactly.
She pointed, she goes, right there. Right there.
This was it.
That. She wasn't fucking wrong. She wasn't wrong. And we all knew she wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm. And now we're finally getting this conversation that everybody wanted so bad of the two of them post-scandal. A year post at this point when they filmed. A year post. Tom's still trying to pretend like he wasn't acting. She's like, I don't know if you've been acting. You lied to my fucking face for 7 months with my friends.
That's what I was. Remember earlier when we brain celled? That's what I was talking about. When he was like, you know me, and she said, I don't know you, because you lied for the person she thought that she knew was not capable of hiding that from her.
James said it.
Yes. I will say though,
the person she thought she knew.
Yes. I will say though, I think there was a nugget, a small nugget of sincerity in this moment with Sandoval. Very, very minuscule, very small.
Oh, because he wasn't putting on the fake tears.
Not just that, but I really do. He seemed genuine for the first time since this happened. For the first time in a long time. You guys know, I am not one to defend Sandoval. I'm not one to believe Sandoval. But watching that last night, I really felt like there was the smallest nugget of sincerity, like minuscule. It was there.
I actually thought so too. I thought that when I was watching that today, because I was like, he's just getting straight to the point. He's not putting on the fake tears this time. You know?
And listen, he may be a narcissist, but narcissists are not incapable of love. And I do strongly believe that there was a part of him that really did love Ariana, genuinely and thoroughly and wholly loved Ariana.
Yeah, he just couldn't get past himself.
But he can't get past himself, and he got in his own way. So I do genuinely believe that small nugget in him that really does love and care for her, and he is sorry, but it's being outweighed by the demon and the monster of narcissism in his head, right? But I do genuinely, when he said last night that he wants the best for her, and he's sorry, and he hates what Raquel has been doing to her, like when she brought up, like, she talks about me all the fucking time now.
That was crazy that she even brought that up.
I like that she did when Tom apologized for that. Like it was the first apology from him that we've gotten the last year that I actually believed, because it coincided and it reminded me of in the first part when he kind of apologized for Rachel suing her, where he was like, he shouldn't be suing Ariana. And I think that's kind of why I believe him a little bit, because he's given nuggets this whole reunion of like realizing what he did.
Because he hasn't been putting up a fight with anybody this time around.
No. And I do genuinely think that part of him that really did love Ariana is like, I fucked up majorly, right? Like, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Like, so I actually very minusculely believe what he was. I don't necessarily know if those tears were genuine necessarily. All of them were genuine, because he did do that whole like cover the face thing at first.
I hate when he does that.
And I hate when he does that. But the more that they talked and the more that she talked, I think at first it wasn't genuine, but the more that she spoke to him and the longer that moment went on, the more genuine he got.
He reeled them in very fast.
He
knows better at this point than to even try it with this group, I think.
Yes.
At this point.
But I really think the more that she spoke and the more that she brought up and I don't know who you are anymore, like the more that she spoke to him, I think it kind of broke through a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so I genuinely think in that one moment he actually saw some sort of, oh shit, I fucked up. Like he was genuinely sorry, but not enough to change his behavior.
Yeah. One thing that really got me though, when he was doing the whole like, you know me speech was, you know that I'm right-handed and that I have brown eyes.
That was
and
so
I'm like,
weird. Of all the things you can pull out of it are like the most, it's things we also as viewers know. Anybody that watched the shows knows what hand you write with.
Who gives a fuck about that though?
No, I know, but like if you were gonna make that point, pull something that only she would know, right? Or something that like only the people closest to you would know. Like that didn't make any.
So fucking stupid.
Well, he's dumb.
Tom basically says that Ariana doesn't deserve what happened to him. He regrets it. This is where we were saying he probably is being a little bit more genuine.
I really do genuinely think that in that moment he was sincere about it. I don't think until now he was.
I think seeing the consequences of his actions was watching the aftermath of like how Rachel has been responding to everything.
That
was like the oh shit moment.
That's my point. Yes, that is when I think that's when it's hit him. Is that until now he was focused on, well, I didn't do it to hurt you, so I don't understand why you're upset. But now seeing what this person he's brought into their life in a way that she wasn't before. Yeah. He gave her access to their intimate life in a way that she, as a friend, she didn't have. Mm-hmm. And you brought her in, and now she's saying these things about her. And I think seeing Rachel go so hard on Ariana is like, oh, I fucked up. Yeah. It wasn't just because until then, I think he was so selfish about it was about me. I was getting what I wanted. It wasn't about you. And now he's like, seeing what Rachel has said over the last year and how she spun the story with Ariana and changed the narrative and the things that she has said, the lawsuit, right? Like he had that moment of like that, I'm gonna be a little crude, that like post-nut clarity.
That thing that like Schwartz would get every time he fucked Joe.
Well, exactly. Yes. As much as I hate Sandoval and as much as he has done dirty, I think there's deep down, right? Like under layers of narcissism and like a lot of cologne and like body glitter.
And cigarettes
and alcohol. There's a good person in there, right? Like and I think we saw that a little bit. Like he genuinely is remorseful. And so I will eat my words. I promise I will eat my own words if it comes out months from now that was fucking bullshit, right? I will eat my words. But for right now, I kind of believe him.
He's been quiet. It's probably because he's been touring with his band.
That last moment of their conversation when she goes, I just want you away from me, because I think he was holding on to this vision of them being able to film and get along the way that he did with Kristen and the way that Katie and Tom are able to do. I think he really genuinely thought he could do that with Ariana, and seeing the pain that she is still in a year later. The most genuine that he has ever been this entire season was that last moment when he said, we have the lawyers. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that was like the first moment all season where I looked at him and I was like, whoa, that's the Tom that I thought he was this whole time, right? That's the Tom we all thought he was for years.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of it goes.
Guys, I really just believed him. And
because let's not forget, right? Mere month after the reunion was filmed, he went and lied to the court, basically saying that Rachel recorded her own video. So
okay. Correct. I'm not saying that he is, like completely redeemed, but I think in terms of Ariana,
the Ariana arc is over.
We'll
move on, because we'll take that as a segue. Yeah. To she's hurt by Lala by living authentically. Mm-hmm. Even Schwartz agreed that Ariana was well within her right to walk away from Sandoval.
I'm really glad he said that.
I'm super glad.
I'm so glad that Schwartz said that, because I think that's like in the moment they were so, and this is what I wish that Sheena and Lala had, right? Because Schwartz changed his tune. Doesn't mean you can't change your tune. In that moment, you could have been frustrated and annoyed because she ruined what you thought was going to be like the ultimate blow up. But then when Schwartz took her feelings into account. Mm-hmm. He saw what happened during the season and how hurt she has been and went, oh shit, right? Because Schwartzy deep down is a good person. Mm-hmm. Lala is just Sheena and Lala are just so deep in this thought process that they can't get out of it.
Well, we're gonna get mad again in a second.
Yay!
This is where Lala really starts to get activated here. Oh! She starts bringing up that everybody was essentially roasting her about Randall. They bring up the flashback about the season 9 reunion because apparently that's what she's holding on to.
But
here's the thing, right? In that flashback, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody in the group is giving her shit.
Except for Ariana.
Yes. And yet somehow Ariana is the one that's paying for that.
Because she's jealous of the sympathy and the support that Ariana has gotten.
And that's the crazy thing, what jealousy can do.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I think if Lala had gone into it with Randall, not bashing the ex-wife, not boasting about BJs for PJs, Range Rover, second more dicks for more than Range Rovers, like if she had approached this thing with Randall in a completely different way, the way that Ariana approached her relationship with Tom when they got together, right? It was very different. Yeah, they cheated and then they got together. But her approach to it was massively different than the way that Lala's out here telling the ex-wife, you should have tried harder to keep your man. You should have tried to keep your tighter. All these things, if she had approached it differently, we would have felt differently.
She did all of that because she wanted to keep up her little thug persona, and that's how she thought she was going to keep
exactly. she had this I'm a badass, I don't give a fuck attitude. Like, it's all if she had approached it differently, I think I would have had more sympathy. But like, I don't, because you were a massive asshole.
Are you trying to get popped?
Like, you don't talk about the ex-wife like that. Crazy. It's the same with Rachel. I said, I'm going to tell Rachel the same thing. You don't talk about the ex like that. You fucking did her dirty. And you're going to go out here and say that shit? That's fucked. No one has any sympathy for you. It's the same goddamn thing.
Lala basically is under the assumption that she's the only person on this show that's ever been honest. Katie is basically seen in an unaired scene from season 10 about how Tom and Ariana would pretend that their relationship was better than it actually was. And Katie never actually denied saying things of that nature.
No.
Like, that specific moment might not have been directly mentioned, but even Katie herself said, like, I never said that wasn't, like, that I never said that.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Katie's been very honest since day one.
Lala's trying to, like, get everybody in, like, a gotcha moment.
I really pissed me off with Lala in this scene was her, I've never got to dictate my storyline. But yes, she did. Dude, what plane are you on? What astral plane are you on? I want to know.
And the sad part is she's watched the show.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You literally left the show twice to protect Randall. You dictated. You, at a fucking reunion, told Andy, we're not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Didn't deny having NDAs to dictate what is said about you. So you're going to sit here now, 5 whatever years later. I didn't get to dictate my storyline. Bitch, I have the fucking receipts. They're on fucking Peacock right now.
Everybody's got receipts everywhere. They're traveling all over Instagram and Reddit.
You left halfway through a season and ruined a trip to a NASCAR race. I would have taken her fucking spot to Sonoma. Are you kidding me? Like, you were supposed to be on a group trip, and you ghosted the entire production.
And this was after, by the way, this was Ariana's birthday trip. And this was after Ariana stuck her neck out to the rest of the group, defending Lala, trying to be her friend.
Yes. And at the cost of her relationship with Scheana, because Scheana was on the outs with the Witches of WeHo. I said, I can't take you. My sponsor already filled with other people.
Yeah.
And I believe she had said on the season that if Lala knew she wasn't going, she should have said that because Scheana could have gone. Right? Like, you can't sit here in 2024 and say with a straight ass face that you didn't get to dictate your goddamn storyline, because you've been dictating it since day one. Since the day you showed up in Sir. You lied to Lisa about what trip you were going on. It was a modeling trip. It wasn't. You dictated that shit. Okay, you dictated that reunion. You started sleeping with Randall, and you dictated how everyone talked about him. You wouldn't speak about him on the show. You wouldn't bring it up. You lied. You left halfway through seasons. Like, the hypocrisy is literally insane. Like, she's fucking Delulu.
Like, Alex Baskin himself even said, yeah, you were a pain in the ass a lot of the time.
Like, what? Wait.
You are lucky. You're lucky that they took your ass back on that show.
It also was pissing me off last night because she was like, oh, everybody on this, acting like this is her show. It's very similar to what Jax was like, this is my show, right? She has this my show event. Bitch, you came in on season fucking 4 or 5. I think it was 4. You came in on season 4 with James Kennedy, okay? You are not an OG on the show. The only OGs on the show.
Even James Kennedy, though, has been on for longer. Because he was dating Kristen.
James was season 3.
Yeah.
But like, she's out here acting like she has been on this show since season 1, episode 1. You came in on season 4. And there was no guarantee you would have stayed until now.
Yep. And then Lala and Scheana get into it. Andy asks Scheana if Tom was actually showing up to things more than Ariana was.
Yes.
And that's why Brock was saying in the season that Tom was a better friend. And then Scheana changes her tune. She says, oh, well, they both showed up in their own ways. And then Lala is like, Scheana, you literally told me this shit off camera. Oh, and I'm going to say something that you actually said to me on Snapchat. Oh, so that's an off-camera conversation that now counts?
But the one with Charlie about Charlie didn't count. And hey,
Selective
memory.
Quite selective.
No, that really pissed me off because Ariana, if she can make it to something about for Scheana, she's been there. And And it's like you can see Scheana struggling this entire last half of the episode of this narrative that she has people pleased Lala into. And I have no doubt that she has changed tunes or changed stories or manipulated facts to feed into what Lala wants in order to keep Lala as her friend, right? With the actual truth. And we have seen for years that Ariana, if she can be there for Scheana, she's fucking there.
The trend here seems to be that if you are in an emotional state to where you are just, you're emotional, you need to vent to a friend, Lala's not that friend.
Lala is not, no.
Because she doesn't understand that you can have that conversation and you can do all of your venting and then you can debrief afterwards, calm the fuck down and realize, oh my God, maybe I was being a little too much in that moment. Lala doesn't understand the bridge getting there.
Because she never learned how to regulate her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't learn growing up how to regulate her emotions and when is the right time to say something and when it is not. She didn't learn diplomacy. She doesn't know how to regulate her emotions. So everything to her is 0 to 100 and every feeling she has is completely valid.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm going to be honest, every feeling you have sometimes is not valid. Sometimes it's Looney Tune. And I say that as somebody who frequently has Looney Tune thoughts, okay? I know sometimes my feelings are off the fucking wall and they are not valid. I'm feeling them and that is real, but they are not actually valid feelings, right? Like Lala doesn't understand that. Lala does not know how to regulate her emotions. So she screams and she yells and she talks at her and like she's missing a few like key points of like development from her youth.
Mm-hmm.
It's very obvious. I also am going to reiterate that Lala is 100% a dry drunk.
And then this is the moment where Lala tries to get up and tries to
oh my God.
And everybody's like, no. Get back here. Sit your ass back down.
You're just bitching at Ariana for fucking walking away, but now you think you have the authority to walk away?
Like, no, bitch. You come here. Sit your ass back down.
I'm really glad that Angie didn't let her walk away.
I'm glad that none of them let her walk away.
I'm really glad because that's some fucking... I mean, this whole entire last half of the episode was hypocrisy from her.
Part of me also thinks that, too, because of how many times did James get up and, like, walk away from set? Imagine how long that delays your fucking day.
You know, it does. It does.
We're here for fucking 8 hours. You're fucking sitting your ass in that chair.
This moment with Lala, you're only walking away because you're not getting your fucking way.
She's like throwing a tantrum.
She's throwing a tantrum because she doesn't know how to regulate her emotions. She's a fucking toddler.
So this is a moment that actually really shocked me. Lisa actually steps in and stands up for Ariana.
Yes.
And I thinks that this is because Andy tied this back to her days in Beverly Hills Housewives.
Yeah, they called her out. Kind of put her on blast there for a second.
Put her on the spot. Like, you know? Don't try to say that she can't walk away.
No, because there have been plenty of times before Lisa left. Before Lisa left Housewives entirely, and I was a Beverly Hills fan for a long time. I stopped when Lisa left because I was a huge LVP fan for a long time. I'm not anymore. She's horrible. She's terrible. But like in the Housewives world, I was an LVP fan. There have been plenty of times when she was on Bravo, when she was on the Housewives, that she would walk away from a conversation. She would end a conversation. She wouldn't have a conversation, right? She would stop it. This is before she even left the show entirely. So I'm glad Andy brought that up because she had no leg to stand on calling out Ariana for that when she has done the same thing for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years. And only those times when she wouldn't want to do it is because she didn't want to get caught like Lala, right? You're walking away because you've been caught. You don't want to face the consequences of your actions.
Lisa is a very well-seasoned reality TV star. That's just something that Alex Cooper mentioned when she was on Call Her Daddy.
And then you can't really fault Ariana for walking away because it wasn't because she was stuck in a corner, right? Where like Lala or Lisa over the years or anybody on the show when they walk away because they're stuck in a corner. She was walking away because she was protecting herself. It was completely different, right? So like I very much appreciated Lisa last night being like, no, she was fucking right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep. Andy then asks Ariana just what her reaction is to what Lala has to say, and Ariana puts it pretty delicately like, I understand the frustration. I don't understand the insults.
Diplomacy, man. She's so good at this.
And again, just pointing out the need for emotional regulation.
Yeah, you can be frustrated without insulting your supposed friend.
Yep. They take a quick break. You know, obviously Ariana is very hurt and very emotional about the things that her supposed friends are saying. The same friends who at this point, you know, were standing behind her whilst talking shit about her behind her back. Then showing up to her Chicago performances, speaking high praises all over their podcasts about her. I'm so proud of her. I'm so happy for her and my friend and this, my friend this, my friend that.
Oh, then you see it
just to finally see all that.
Yeah, and then you see it in the Secrets Revealed episode. There's a couple scenes people online were talking about how it's like you weren't surprised why she thought it was the Spice Girls because there was scenes that were not put in the show that very clearly showed that Ariana thought everyone was on her side.
One of those scenes was the girls were babysitting Summer Moon while Sheena and Brock went on a date. Aww. It was literally like Lala, Ariana, Katie all babysitting Summer Moon. It was a very sweet scene.
You see why Ariana is hurt.
And it just kind of reaffirms the fact that like, wow, there were moments that we never got to see that these girls were actually showing a strong friendship. And that's what makes those scenes that we ended up actually seeing that much harder to watch. Because that's what they were really thinking about her.
I'm glad that aired and the others. I'm glad that Ariana, I'm as painful as this is for her and for us as viewers, I'm glad that it happened this way because now we know.
Yeah.
And Ariana knows.
Right before they go into a break, they show Katie consoling Ariana. And
oh my God, this was like the palate cleanser.
We get such a great moment of Katie's earring getting stuck in Ariana's hair. And it was a nice way to just kind of...
Yes. Except it really didn't though, because as I was ha-haing about this and Andy joking about having to cut their hair, Sheena fucking bolts her ass across the soundstage to fucking Lala to make sure she's not mad at her anymore. While your supposed best friend,
the person who she just said moments before was her person,
is sobbing.
She goes, was there anything else I could have said? No.
I literally, guys, I have been trying all fucking day. I watched it this morning. I have been trying all fucking day to like articulate how I feel about Sheena doing this, and I can't do it. I cannot find the words. This is like last week when I was speechless as fuck when you dropped that extended bomb scene on me, right?
You gotta give it to Sheena. At least she's consistent. She's consistent.
Yes. Like I literally have no words. I have been trying for hours to find a way to articulate how I feel about this, and I cannot. I can't. It is so, I can't. I have nothing. I have nothing other than, wow.
I am stunned into silence.
No, that's literally how I feel. Literally how I felt watching her scurry across the stage to Lala while your friend that you have been friends with for like 15 years, because let's not forget, guys, she also worked at Villa Blanca with Ariana, and that's how Ariana met Tom. All three of them worked at Villa Blanca together. So she has been friends with Ariana just as long as she's been friends with Tom, okay? Let's not forget that little factoid, okay? Your friend of like a decade plus is over there sobbing because she just had to talk to her ex-boyfriend who destroyed her entire life. Her other friend is saying shit about her, right? She has just been like attacked and destroyed emotionally. And you're scurrying across the stage to fucking Lauren from Utah. Was there anything else I could have said? Completely ignoring that Ariana is on Katie's shoulder, just like destroyed. And I just have no words because I could never see my friend that upset, someone who I genuinely cared about, that upset, and not go over and say, I'm so sorry. I'm so like beg for forgiveness, ask what I can do. I can't even imagine picturing you crying on somebody's shoulder and me not immediately going over to you. If I can continuously claim that you're that kind of friend to me. Right? Like she continuously claims that Sheena is that Ariana's her best friend, right? And I say all the time, you're one of my best friends. I can't imagine seeing you crying like that and going off to somebody else going off to the person that tried to discredit everything.
Literally.
All of your boundaries, all of your feelings.
All the perpetrators behind my hurt, like.
I can't imagine. I'm literally speechless. I have no words. It's disgusting. That's my word. It's disgusting.
It's safe to say that this friend group really is completely fractured.
Done.
Severed.
Done.
We go into the final thoughts. Everyone seems pretty beat from this whole season, except for Katie. Katie actually had a pretty good season.
Katie had a really good season. She got to kiss some peeps. She got to have sex with Max.
She wasn't the complete asshole of the season.
No, Katie had a really good season. And I think we as an audience can all agree Katie had a good season. I loved Katie this season.
Yep. Lala basically acknowledged that she's okay with the fact that her friendships are just diminished.
She doesn't care about anybody but herself. And baking her baby. I swear to God, if I hear the sentence baking a baby one more time, I'm going to like vomit on the soundstage.
Sheena acknowledges that Lala was practically her rock all season. Guess they're best friends now.
Okay, that pissed me off too, because I just kept thinking about what we had talked about weeks ago of like that ring theory. That like she was my rock. It is not your turn. Where was Ariana supposed to comfort you about your
about her own trauma?
Like I literally could not believe she said that last night, because I was like, you're so fucking self-centered,
dense,
so dense. Fucking dense and self-centered that like you still don't get it. You still don't get it. Like it wasn't about you. It wasn't about you. Your friend just had her whole life blown apart, and you couldn't even be there for her without making it about you. And now you're sitting here on the stage crying because Lala was my rock. Because the person that was supposed to be your rock, you couldn't be that for her.
It's because Lala was also feeling like listen, misery loves company.
Oh, 100%.
And that's exactly what the two of them were doing. They were both commiserating together
in their jealousy,
in their jealousy,
and their misery.
100%. And they were they are the two delusional best friends that look at each other and go, exactly.
And not in the fun way like you and I do. No, but like it's true. And then I just had the thought as you were saying misery of like the projection from Lala all season about Katie's miserable. I don't see a miserable Katie, but I see a miserable Lala.
Oh, Lauren is probably especially miserable now after seeing all the reaction. Her brand is tarnished.
Destroyed. Her podcast went from having really good ratings to having like barely a 3.
Holy shit. I didn't know that.
Yes. And a lot of people were leaving reviews of like, and not just doing it in like what the fandom did with Schwartz and Sandy's. It looked very genuine. If people were like, I'm no longer listening. Like, I can't listen to you anymore. Like, what happened to you? Like, the jealousy monster got to her.
I think, and I forgot where I saw this from, but production, I think, basically doesn't realize that they fed a monster. And they were just giving Lala all of this ammunition to just use at people, and they made her head way too big. And then she flew way too close to the sun.
She flew way too close. Yeah, because this was the first time since losing Randall that she felt like she could get back to where she was, right? She lived the high life. She had a PJ and a nice house in the hills and money galore, and she lost it all. And she's going to do whatever she has to and step on whoever she needs to step on to get exactly that back.
We're getting to we're finishing up final thoughts here.
Yep.
I didn't realize, and maybe this was already announced and I probably knew at one point, but I forgot that James had a residency at Live in Vegas.
I didn't realize that until it came on the show, I'm not going to lie.
At Fontainebleau?
Yeah.
I've never stayed at the one in Vegas, but I've stayed at the one in Miami. That place is lit.
I've never done that. My vacations are so redneck.
Club Live, though, is literally one of those places that, like, they charge you, like, a hefty cover just to even go into the club.
Really?
Never mind, like, drinking.
See, that's not my jam. My vacations are, like, to race cars.
That's fair.
And, like, the beach, right? Like, or, like, seeing Caroline in Charlotte and, like, going to stay at Ron's house at the beach.
This is where, the moment where I realized that, like, I don't think James has really spoken much this whole episode. He just, like, had his moments in the beginning, and then that was it. They toast with something about her sandwiches brought by Anne and Kyle Chan.
Can we talk about Lala's face when they brought the sandwiches out, please?
I didn't notice, so do tell.
Homegirl was pressed.
You know what I also noticed in that moment? I was like, this is the only time in life that Tom Sandoval is going to have something about her sandwich.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm surprised that he's even going to have any of them at all.
Again, I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. I think that he genuinely wants the best for her.
We'll see. We finally get to the last 5 minutes.
Oh!
They break.
Oh!
But the cameras are still rolling. Oh! Sheena and Brock have a moment because Sheena's obviously not very happy about how this reunion went. She probably thought that...
because she's a people pleaser times 1,000.
She probably also thought that these comments said about Ariana was all just going to fly under the radar and everything was going to be great and everybody's going to fly off into the sunset. And that's not at all how it went. Brock gives her a lot of props as her husband for speaking up for herself.
He was a very good husband.
She did. I don't know where exactly she spoke up for herself.
She didn't, but he was a good husband in that moment.
Yeah, she spoke up for Lala, but that's fine. And a lot of it is basically just Lala having a temper tantrum in the green room.
Oh my God. Crying. Sobbing.
Bitching about season 9.
Get the fuck over yourself.
2 years ago.
Get the fuck over yourself.
When everybody was roasting you about fucking Randall, when Ariana wasn't out here bragging about my man.
Oh my God. Okay, you know what pissed me off?
When she was having her affair with Sandoval.
You know what pissed me off? When she was like, everyone's saying I shoved Randall down their throats. You've shoved this man down my throat for years.
Nah, bitch, he's been here since day 1.
That pissed me the fuck off. And that coincides with what I said a little bit earlier about her feeling like she is like an OG of the show. Because you're fucking not. Tom Sandoval's been here since season 1, episode 1. If anything, it is his goddamn show, okay? His, Sheena, Katie. It is their show. But the 3 people on this show that have been here since day 1, that have any kind of like authority of what goes on is Lisa, Tom Sandoval, Katie Maloney, and Sheena Shea.
Yep.
That is it. And Lala out here acting like, you shoved this man down our throats for years. He started this fucking show. You wouldn't have this goddamn platform without him. Without him and Kristen and Stassi and Jax. So shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. You shoved him down our throats.
Know your place.
No one told you to stay. No one told you to keep signing your contracts. You shoving fucking Big Ed down our throats.
Big Ed.
No, not Big Ed. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm deceased.
Tell me I'm wrong. You can't.
Not Big Ed.
You can't tell me I'm wrong. Put the pictures side by side.
Holy hell.
Tell me I'm wrong. Put the pictures side by side.
Christ.
Right? Okay. You can't be out here telling me this. He's a stand-up guy. Okay? You can't. I don't understand. What do I have to say to this woman for her to understand that these situations are different because you were out here BJs for PJs and disrespecting his ex-wife and the mother of his children. And it is like literally not the same. Like Ariana had her moments of dissing Kristen, but I will give her this point of saying that Kristen was unhinged, right? Mm-hmm. Season 3, Kristen was unhinged. She was saying some really shitty things about Ariana. It was not.
It's how you take these things in stride, right? When things happen to you.
Lala, here's my thing. If Lala was more remorseful, if Lala was more self-aware, I think we would all like her a little bit more. Or just be honest. Just be honest that you're jealous. We're not going to be mad at you about it because we can all see it. Just be honest. I'm not, just be like, yo, I'm kind of really jealous that like you got this and I didn't, right? And that fucking sucks, but I'll get over it. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. But no, you're going to double down and act like it's your fucking show. Nobody watching this fucking show is going to be mad if Lauren from Utah doesn't come back. All right, I'm telling you right now, if she didn't come back after season 5, I wouldn't have batted an eye. I never would have thought about her ever again.
She would have been forgotten about very quickly.
She would have been forgotten about. She's going to be forgotten about as soon as the show's over.
She would have gone back to just being a yacht girl like she was in the beginning.
Your whole first 4 episodes on this show were you talking about going on a trip to Italy and pretending you're a model when actually you were just being a sugar baby for a bunch of ugly ass old rich white guys. Like let's be real here, Lauren. You didn't come in this show as an innocent little hostess from Utah.
Yeah, she needs to humble herself. This is obviously, like we've been saying, the end of Vanderpump Rules for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. We don't know, like season 12 has not been guaranteed renewed.
No,
right?
It's on pause. They haven't it's like Martha Vineyard. They haven't explicitly renewed it, but it is not. It is in TV wasteland. There's been plenty of shows where they have then over networks and millions of time over time they have been like it's on pause, and then it just like never comes back.
The future of this show, I would say, is probably not so much indicative of the crew, so much as it's indicative of the cast.
Correct.
You know, obviously this friend group is fucked.
Correct.
They all need time to really just grow apart, you know, live their lives, make other friendships, focus on their business.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they are gonna wait until Ariana is done hosting Love Island,
and for Lala to have her baby. I'm sure.
And Lala to have her baby, and then the TV people are going to come together, do their little focus group.
Their sizzle.
Their little sizzle. And then that's when we will decide. I guarantee you by the end of summer, we will have a yay or nay.
I wouldn't be surprised if for somehow, some way, they're going to do like an open casting to see if they can do like some sort of audition for Next Gen.
Next Gen would be cool. Start all over.
I don't know if I would be into it.
I think I would give it a shot. But they're never going to capture the magic that they did in the beginning.
And that's why I'm hesitant towards it.
Yes.
Because at that point, right, you can't just try to reinvent the wheel.
No, they did it with Vanderpump Villa.
And that's the issue.
And it didn't work with Vanderpump Villa. And they have to be very selective about how they do this. Honestly, I feel like if they want to keep their fan base that they have now, do a Something About Her spinoff.
Do something about her. Yep.
That is something that 98% of the current fan base and the current the viewership is going to partake in. Because I'd be all about Something About Her.
Get Dayna Kathan on that show too.
That's what I'm saying. I would be so about that. So about that. Because then that's what you have Katie and Ariana. You have Katie and Ariana. It's like the Valley, right? You pull people in by having former castmates of this show. But then you have dynamic other relationships that are happening that are keeping us in. Like I binged the Valley, right? I'm caught up. Janet is so fucking messy, but I'm here for it, right? What's his face? The gay one?
Oh, Zach.
If I never see him again, I don't think I'm going to be upset, but also he makes great fucking television, right? Like Nia and adore them, right? If they can capture the Valley magic, I know I dissed it on the show a lot. I've dissed it on our pod, and I
too have dissed it.
I eat my words. It is a very well put together cast, right? It works so well. If they can do that with like a spinoff or Something About Her, where they use Jax Brittany and Kristen, right, to form this thing. If they use
Jax and Brittany probably wouldn't bite on that, but Kristen sure would.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you do that with like a Something About Her spinoff where you use Katie and Ariana as your baseline, right? It is essentially kind of what they did with Vanderpump Rules. They used Lisa Vanderpump as their baseline and went from there because Lisa was very popular amongst the audience. Do that again. Katie and Ariana are so popular with the audience right now. Pull that. Do a Something About Her spinoff. The people that work there, the dynamic, like, show me that. Show me that. And then you have a brand new, like, Vanderpump Rules. It's not going to be as saucy as, like, a lounge in LA that, like, is a little spicy. But, like, it's going to keep the viewers that you have already.
Yeah.
Because not all of us are watching The Valley. So it's kind of the way it is with
remember, guys, we're doing this for you.
Yeah, with
you guys.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I literally watched The Valley for you. Okay, so you better feel my love. Okay, feel my fucking love through the microphone. Okay, I suffer through Jax Taylor for you.
Love aggression.
But, like, I think my point is, though, that I think with the Something About Her spinoff, because I see how people are talking about Ariana and Katie, and it is the majority. I think if they did a Something About Her spinoff, it would have a lot more viewership of the current fan base, more than The Valley did.
Yeah.
More than The Valley did. So I really think that's where they should take it. Or do like a Tom Tom one. Or like a Tom Pump thing. Because, like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean?
They are the same thing now.
They're the same thing. I think that's where they can keep it going, right? I think that's how they have to go. And as much as that sucks for Lala and Sheena, they'd be out of a job. Because
I don't care.
It's very clear by what Alex has been saying in interviews that they have absolutely no intention of bringing those two on as anything other than a friend of.
Thank God. Truly.
And I think they're so stupid to bank on thinking that they were going to get on that. But I think that's where they should go. At least I, as an avid Bravo TV goer and someone who has been Vanderpump since the get-go, like, that's where you should take it. That's where I would put my viewership.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think I would give, like, a revamped version a shot, like a revamped Back at Sir. I think I would give it a shot just for, like, the nostalgic of it. But if it didn't capture me, I don't think I would continue.
One last thing before we fully transition from Vanderpump to the Valley. Schwartz apparently was the first and so far only cast member to actually visit Something About Her.
Yeah, he went with Kyle Chan, didn't he?
He did go with Kyle Chan. And I just wanted to acknowledge that just because that was one last drop of tea left in our cup. That we didn't mention because I forgot.
Yes.
It just kind of happened in such a blip, like I completely forgot.
Still crickets from Lisa, still crickets from Lala and Sheena, but Schwartzy has gone.
Anyways, let's talk